Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is Timothy Cato III, and this is yet another episode of I Got More to Say. Man, peace, love, and blessings to everybody out there. I hope that everybody's month of January has been restful, relaxing, and just overall blessed as we welcome into the new year. I hope everybody's staying warm out there because up here in upstate New York, where I live at, it is fucking cold. But nah, y'all, glad to have y'all back. I had a couple topics and a couple things that I want to talk about this week. Some good, some things could be changed and improved, but we'll get into that. But definitely, as I said before, many love, blessings to everybody. Man, y'all, just jumping straight in. So, actually, time out. Let me introduce this. So this is the new format for I Got More to Say. This is one of the new formats. Essentially, this is going to be the solo show. I recognize that I Got More to Say didn't necessarily I wasn't the face of it. It would just be me doing interviews, but a lot of times I wouldn't share my opinions. I felt like, if you were to go on the I Got More to Say page, you wouldn't even necessarily know who ran it. You know that I'm a guy who's doing interviews, but you wouldn't necessarily know about me, my position, who I am, where I'm from, what is it that I do, and why do I feel like I have any credibility to talk about music. So I guess for right now, I never ever actually did this formally, so I introduced myself. As I said, my name is Timothy Cato III. Most people call me Cato III or just simply Cato. I was born in Atlanta, Georgia, at the time, my mother was, my mom a barber at the time? No, excuse me. My mom owned her own. She owned her own hair salon. I'm the son of at the time of a hair salon owner and a record store owner, being my dad, Cato II. Shout out to Cato II. Ended up moving upstate to New York when I was about like 4 or 5 from Atlanta. Lived upstate till I was about 12. Moved back down to, I ain't gonna say Atlanta, but I'll say Georgia because I lived out in Carrollton. Lived out in Carrollton, Georgia, and then lived out in Cobb County, Georgia for about 3 or 4 years, I believe. Then when I was about 14, I moved back up north to upstate New York where I've currently reside. Like I say, I ended up, was a normal kid, like sports, like all the typical things, video games, Madden, 2K, even though I suck at both of them. Had an interest in sports, really loved sports, always had a knack for memorizing things regarding, the music industry or the sporting world. And, originally I wanted to go in and I wanted to be on ESPN one day. Passions change. I got to, my undergrad and I just wasn't necessarily interested in the courses like that anymore. I didn't necessarily want to really do sports. You know what I'm saying? Some passions change and I can't talk about my time. Oh, excuse me. When I say undergrad, I went to undergrad at SUNY Oswego. That is where I did my undergraduate degree. So shout out to Sweegs, it's Oswego University now because we've got the university title. Shout out to Oswego, big love to all my Lakers out there, both old and new, and current. But went to Oswego, got my degree in broadcast communications, and I was very involved. I was an RA at one point, then I became a VCA. Y'all probably don't know what that means. RA is resident assistant, and then I was a VCA. Essentially, they were like little townhouses on campus, and I was one of the RAs for the townhouses, so it was looked to as like a higher position. Excelled at that, and had a really good career at SUNY Oswego. I don't really believe in popular in college. I think popular is more of a thing for that's like middle school. Like in college, either you are who you are. Like I don't think it's really necessarily a popularity contest. At least it wasn't for me. But anyways, pretty well known. Very well respected. I would say overall I was fairly well liked, but as I said, when I got there, I ended up joining this organization called DMA, the Digital Music Association. And, it was just so dope just to see everybody, who were able to create music and, tell you about the technical aspects of music. I wanted to just be a part of a music organization because, as I said, when I got to about sophomore, junior years, when I realized I really wanted to work in the music industry. And, I walked in the DMA and, that is really, the group and the organization that really helped me find my passion for this music shit. Now, when I say this music, I don't just mean the music, I mean the industry, the business, the culture, everything regarding, especially hip hop. Speed the story up. Like I said, I had a great career, SUNY Oswego. Eventually, I went on to, I was at SUNY Oswego. I did 3.5 years there. I moved to Atlanta halfway through my senior year to go out and go chase a dream. After, of working in the music industry, Atlanta was a poppin' city. It was huge in, hip hop music, which is, like I said, is my passion. And, it lasted all but 8 months. I was down there with my father, me and him had a disagreement. We didn't necessarily see eye to eye. I had to move back up to New York, like I said, back up to upstate New York, broke as hell, had nothing at all. dirt broke, penurious, destitute, run amok, tight-arsed, niggardly, yeah. All the words that you could think for broke, and yes, niggardly does mean like very impoverished. I was that, and it was a great time. It humbled me. It definitely humbled me. It helped me get myself together, and it helped me, grow me up a little bit. So, I'm not ashamed to talk about it. Sitting up, I had this. I ain't gonna talk about it because I'm technically still employed by this company, but I was working in retail. Just getting like a little hourly wage. Staying at my mama crib trying to figure some things out. But I realized that I really wanted to work in the music industry. I really wanted to give myself an opportunity to go out and go chase my dream. And then while doing that, I eventually was working part-time in retail, and then I eventually went on and I worked as a, what do they call them people? Like the building director, like for like a college campus building. Hall director, thank you. Eventually I became a hall director, and once I became a hall director, I was doing that, and I was applying for, grad school up at Syracuse University. I told myself like, hey, look, like, I wanted to go to Syracuse as an undergrad. They denied me. This is what I want more than anything. And I'm gonna apply. I only applied to one grad school. I was like, if this don't work, I'm gonna figure out another way. Applied to Syracuse University's grad school. Didn't really know quite what I was doing. And when I ended up going to grad school, I ended up applying for VPA, and I ended up getting into their audio arts program, and I focused specifically on music industry studies. And that's really when it dawned on me that I felt like I have a special talent for this. I know a lot about hip hop. I know a lot about music. I'm very passionate about it. I feel I have a natural talent. Some people would say I don't, but I feel like I do. So, got the Q's, did an album, Beautiful Days. Go stream that right now. Beautiful Days is by Franks. Like I said, I executive produced that album. Clicked up with a lot of people from Syracuse and made an impact there, and graduated, and now here I am. I started I Got More to Say while I was at Syracuse. Shout out to Sean Brannigan. Shout out to my audio arts cohort that was a part of VPA/Newhouse. Shout out to VPA and Newhouse. And now it's, it led me to do this. Sean Brannigan is the person who pushed me to do podcasting and told me that I just have a magic about myself, and that I really need to put myself in front of a camera and talk about music, or really anything that really interests me. So the music became a passion. I mean, as I said before, my dad owned three record stores in Atlanta. Well, technically he had two up. He bought the building for a third, but something ended up happening, and he ended up having to sell some of his property. So, topic for another day. But I really credit my father. I grew up in a black household where, as Saturday morning when you heard bacon popping and you heard Jill Scott or Mary J. Blige or some SWV, it was time to clean. And my mother liked music. My grandmother liked music. She was big into Motown. My mom liked, 80s, disco and, 90s R&B. And my mom even liked some 90s hip hop and even some current hip hop, at the time when I was growing up. And then, when I met my father, he introduced me to a lot of the Southern rap. My mom taught me about LA and New York. My dad introduced me to, 8 Ball MJG. Juvenile, Cash Money, Slip and Slide, Trick Daddy, Uncle Luke and all them, Kilo Ali, Ghetto Mafia, who else was popping? Outkast, so, and, really just kicking it with my pops. I just start researching the music thing, and I just started paying attention, and, like I said, it led to this. But yeah, you guys, so this is I Got More to Say, and I Got More to Say is, pretty self-explanatory. I come on here and I talk about different things that go on in the world of media, that go on in the world of black music and media. Generally, it's focused on hip-hop music and hip-hop culture. I do group R&B and with hip-hop because, according to Nielsen SoundScan, when it comes to market share, they are intertwined together. And like I said, this is just my thoughts. I've been told that I'm entertaining. I've been told that I'm well-spoken. I've been told that I'm intelligent. I believe that. Some people may not, but, everybody has a platform. And I created my own to be able to share my thoughts and my opinions, and this is what it's gonna be. I hope you guys enjoy my content. If you guys, whether you agree or disagree, I pray to God that, you feel comfortable and, have something to say. Like I got more to say. I hope that you have something to say. Drop a comment. I'm always about learning new information. I'm always about seeing different perspectives, and I try to be as well read and well researched as possible because I believe I have a social responsibility. But today's episode is going to be fairly quick, but I want to start off with something positive that I've seen this week. And something positive that I've seen this week was Key Glock's Let's Go video. Now, I know some of y'all, I don't know if y'all have seen it. The video is crazy. Some of y'all who probably have seen it be like, Cato, how was that video positive? I don't want to give out any spoilers because it just came out. But man, I just absolutely love the fact that Glock being like a trap rapper, like a street rapper or a hood rapper, whatever you would, I don't even want to box him into any particular place, but the fact that Key Glock being a street rapper and doing a video that has a concept that fit his brand and, you know, just was interesting. And when I first seen it, I couldn't take my eyes off of it. Like it had like crashes and guns and everything. Like it was so action packed. It was like fresh out of a movie. It was so refreshing to see, like I said, like a street artist do that. Because I tell y'all, I'm sick of these music videos by, like I said, these artists, especially the street artists. I'm sick of, okay, y'all, let's go get a bunch of Maybachs and a bunch of Ferraris and a bunch of, you know, these 6-7 figure cars. Let's go pull up to, you know what I'm saying, a hood, a project, or, you know what I'm saying, some kind of, you know, an impoverished neighborhood. And let's go post up with guns and jewelry. Like, you know, that's hip hop culture because majority of rappers come from backgrounds and of that as such. But, you know, I've always said, like, videos need to start being more creative. Like, I got sick of seeing Satan all the time. I talked about this in last week's episode. I got sick of seeing all the Satan imagery. And as I said before, as far as the street rappers, like, y'all, get a little bit more creative. And just to see Glock come in and, like, you know, like I guess I don't want to ruin it for nobody, but like him and the girl who was starring in it, you know, because he made it like a short movie. He made the music video pretty much like a movie. Like it was like Black Bonnie and Clyde. Like he was like like a black, like not a black, but like Wesley Snipes. Like it was so dope to see that. Like it was like. It had a concept that fit his brand. Like I seen people in the comments talking about Glock Bond and, you know, Glock Wick. And, you know, now, I mean, I don't know, Glock Snipes doesn't necessarily have the same ring to it, but fuck it, add that in there. Like the getaway car, like looked like something straight out of Need for Speed. Like it was like, it showed one, he was robbing a store in a Celine hoodie. Like, you know, like the video was just overall just phenomenal. And shout out to Chris Villa for directing it. As I said before, like, you know, I said this a little while ago, the days of Benny Boom and, was it Benny Boom? I believe it was Benny Boom. But just the days of like, you know, these high profile and, you know, these high grossing, these high budget like music videos, I feel like we're just kind of dwindling. And just to see Glock come out with, you know, something so dope and so creative and so, and like I said, and just fit his brand and just be on par with him and for him to executive produce it and have a hand in it. I just think it was absolutely dope. And it's incredible that he's been able to carry on, well, not only blaze his own path, but also, you know, honor and respect Flipper. I know Young Dolph is somewhere, Flipper is Young Dolph for those who may not know. I know Young Dolph is somewhere looking down like, damn, like, you know, man, shout out to Glock. I mean, like really proud of Glock. So, man, as I said before, love to see the street rappers go and put some concepts and put some more effort into their videos. Enough with this, like I said, buying 6-figure cars and pulling up to impoverished neighborhoods and project buildings. Like, I love just man, shout out to Glock overall. Shout out to Glock for going ahead and being different, being creative, and not necessarily, you know, not stepping out too much outside of what his brand is, but also adding some artistic ability into his music video. So, man, shout out to Glock. Next up, I seen this on my way here today, and, you know, Drake essentially called Mos Def a Bohemian bucket. So a little bit of background story. Mos Def was on a podcast. He was on, or a show, a podcast, whatever you want to call it. Mos Def was on a podcast, and when asked about if he considered Drake pop, he says that, you know, a lot of Drake, he pretty much alluded that Drake is pop, and he said that Drake's music, he alluded to it being shoppable. And he alluded to it being like a store. He said there's so many products. So do with that what you will. You guys can go find that video. I'm sure that if majority of people who probably watch it probably have seen that. Drake came back with a comment. So at first he came back with a video and it was Method Man talking about hip hop and hip hop culture. And Drake was just saying, man, let me be. Then he commented underneath some post. And when it was speaking about the Mos Def situation, in the comments, he put Bohemian bucket. So for those of you guys who are not aware, bucket is Toronto slang terminology for a drug addict, from what I've researched and from what I've been told. If I'm wrong, somebody please correct me. I'm not going to get into it. Drake has the right to have his opinion. Mos Def has the right to have his opinion. But I am sick and tired of this civil war in hip hop between the older, more mature generations of hip hop and the younger, maybe more novice generation of hip hop. Like, this has been going on for far too long, and this really almost only exclusively happens in hip hop, I feel. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But like, I don't see Green Day saying, I don't see Green Day saying, fuck Metallica. Like, I don't see Panic at the Disco saying, fuck, is it Depeche or Depeche? Fuck Depeche Mode. That's a band for those of you guys who don't know. Like, I just don't see it. Those are rock bands for those of y'all who may be unaware. I don't see Kirk Franklin talking about, man, fuck Mahalia Jackson. Like, like, I just don't. And although Drake and Mos Def may not necessarily said those words, I don't see Kenny Rogers and Garth Brooks. I don't see them getting bad-mouthed, or I don't see them bad-mouthing Luke Combs. Like, I am tired in hip-hop. Like, hip-hop had a 45-year struggle to being the alpha and the omega of the music business. Sure, there's questions if it's in a decline. You guys already know this whole hip-hop is in a decline thing is complete BS and propaganda to me. But we had a 45-year fight to make it to the pinnacle in the pantheon of the music business. And now, even still, it's like we're not united. And I'm just tired of this. Cause Drake and Mos Def, I love them both as artists equally, but I'm sick of it. Like, and this has been going on for years. Like, when Ice-T told Soulja Boy to go eat a dick back in 2006, and Soulja Boy was like 16, 17 years old. Like, I'm really sick of it. But I just want us to get to a point where if we don't necessarily like what happened in hip hop back when it first started, or we don't like what's happening now, we can at least respect each other as artists, or even if we don't respect each other as artists, just the civil war that goes on within hip hop between the older, more mature generations and the younger generations. Like, I am tired of seeing it. Like, it's really getting old, and because, Pimp C said this on the radio station, we too blessed to be going back and forth with each other. Too blessed to be arguing with each other. Too blessed to be at odds with one another. Like, y'all, wake up. Like, this culture, one of the few cultures that we can unequivocally call our own, we are busy beefing with one another in hip hop. And I guess to a certain extent, I get it. Where there is a genre of prideful men, where there is a culture or an art form or a group of prideful men, where there is a genre or a group or a just different sides or just different prideful men in a genre that's competitive, naturally there's going to be disagreements. There's going to be, people aren't necessarily going to see eye to eye. But man, I am just getting tired of the back and forth within hip hop. I'm just getting sick of seeing it all between the older and the new. Like, I am tired of it. Like, this shit is really getting stale, and we need to come together as one culture. Like, at the end of the day, regardless if you like hip hop and what's going on today or not, this is a culture. This is one culture. Sure, it may have subgenres. You got boom bap, you got SoundCloud era, you got, trap, you got alternative hip hop. There's so many different, there's so many different subgenres within it. But I want us to get to a point where we just respect and we just overall we just come to a point where we could just be one. That's what I want for hip hop. I want us to come to a point where we could just be one. So I just hate seeing another story of this older rapper said this about this younger rapper said this about this older rapper, and vice versa, because it really doesn't necessarily really benefit anybody. But yes, I have the utmost respect for Yasin Bey and what he's done for hip hop. And I don't do nothing but salute him, but man, I'm tired of this. Oh God. I just want us to just appreciate this culture as a whole. If something trash, call it out. Have an opinion. But damn, I'm tired of the back and forth. I am tired. I see all the other genres embracing each other. You don't see Kirk Franklin talking about, yeah, to hell with Mahalia Jackson. And you don't see, like I said, Depeche Mode or Depeche Mode talking shit about Green Day. You just don't see it. And on a side note, I want to see hip hop have more of a, what's the word I'm looking for? I want to see it have, God, I'm losing my train of thought. Yeah, I completely lost my train of thought. But anyways, you guys, that's all for today's episode. That's all I've seen really this week that really interests me. As y'all know, be sure to keep it locked right here where we be having weekly different discussions and topics. If you guys like what I had to say, or if you guys have any opinions, rather, you guys agree with me or you guys disagree, let me know in the comments. I absolutely love engaging with y'all. Make sure you follow us on our Instagram. I got more to say ENT. Be sure to follow us on, be sure to subscribe on YouTube. Be sure to follow us on our Instagram. I got more to say ENT. Be sure to follow us on TikTok. I got more to say. So many new great ideas, so many new things that I really want to get rolled out. And I appreciate if you guys came on and took this ride with me. But anyways, you guys, my name is Cato. And as always, I got more to say.